Hello to all you fire alarm and siren fans on YouTube. Welcome to our first episode of Public Safety Sundays. To give you a little brief summary of it, it's going to be every Sunday I'll be posting a video reviewing some sort of public safety product. So for our first video, we're going to be reviewing a classic that I have a lot of, and what I actually kind of like is the Faraday 5410 notification appliance. Backstory about these alarms was back in the day, I used to be deathly afraid of them in kindergarten and middle school and elementary school. They'd scare the crap out of me, and yeah, so that was basically that. And then eventually when I got over my fear, I started looking into these, and not exactly the 5410, but its rebranded brother, the 4050. They're the same alarm, and then that's when I found sirens. That's how I got into sirens. But anyway, let's get back to the review of the 5410. So the 5410 is like I said, a public notification appliance made by Faraday in Tecumseh, Michigan. These were made popular in the 1960s. They were pretty common in fire alarm systems back when fire alarm systems ran off of AC current instead of DC. So modern day fire alarms run off of 24 volts DC. When these systems back in the day were pretty specialized. They had 120 volt AC systems, 6 volt AC systems, 12 volt AC systems. So yeah, they were every system could be pretty different, and they would vary. But these are pretty common horns. The horns were actually made by, like I said earlier, Faraday, but Simplex liked these horns, and before they started rebranding Faraday products, they actually rebranded IBM products as Simplex horns. But then in the 60s, they started buying more Faraday and rebranding them. So the Faraday model number, like I said, is the 5410. And then Simplex rebranding it is known as the Simplex 4050. So my 4050 by Simplex is a 12 volt AC horn, and all my 5410s are 6 volt DC horn, not DC, AC horns. If I said AC for the 4050, I meant DC for the 4050, I was wrong. Another special thing about these horns is they can run off of either 50 hertz or 60 hertz. So that's pretty weird. You don't see that really in the siren world except for like 3-phase motors. So yeah, we're going to set it off, and I'll show you all my other Faraday 5410s. I actually have a wide collection of them. So here's my collection of all my Faraday 5410 horns. I actually bought these on eBay back in, I think, 2013. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it was 2012, because my school actually did a musical where they were on a game show, and I wired up a system using 2 Faraday 5410s to be the buzzer. So I bought these on eBay as a lot. I think I got the lot for $15 for all 4 of these units. They don't come up too often because the Simplex 4050 is a lot more common on eBay than the Faraday 5410 is. So if you can find them, they usually go for pretty cheap. I know there's a couple on there that are selling for a lot right now. But when they come up, I would advise to get them because they're pretty decent horns and a nice piece of fire alarm history. So my horns, these ones, I have one with the newer logo, and well, I actually have 2 of them with the newer logo. So both these have the newer logo, and then I have 2 of the other ones that have, I think, the older logo. Also knows that they're different. I'm not too familiar with the Faraday logos. Otherwise, like I said, they all are 6 volts, and they are 2.5 amps. The 12 volt AC versions would be 1.5 amps. So without further ado, let's give it a test. Okay, so now we're at the testing portion of the video. So we're going to give the 5410 a quick test. This horn is probably one of the loudest, older style mechanical horns I've ever heard. The only thing I think it can contend with it is the EST, or Edwards, Genesis. That horn is pretty loud, because the other night I got woken up for it. We had like a fire alarm malfunction up at the apartment building, and I have one in my room, and it is super loud. But otherwise, this is probably one of the loudest horns. And a nice feature about this horn is, before we had the option of going like loud and soft through dip switches or jumping wires on the newer horns like we do now, the older style horns actually had a vibration screw. So this could dampen or like hold back the vibration plate, which can make it louder or softer. So right now I have it set to full throttle open, so it's pretty loud. We're going to get a couple decibel readings, and then I will tell you guys what the decibel rating is. I'll put it in a little footnote at in the video right now when it's being tested. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that is pretty loud, even with my ears plugged. This horn is pretty much insanely loud. Well guys, that's the end of this video. We're just going to go over some general comments of these horns. So yeah, really reliable product. Wouldn't really recommend putting it in any buildings nowadays because all of them are 24 volt systems. But if for some reason, like, it would be good for a collector's piece, like in a person's man cave, or if you're a fire alarm collector, I would highly recommend it because it's a great piece of fire alarm history. Like, these horns were really common back in the 60s, and like, no one can forget that sound it makes, like the 60 hertz buzzing noise. Like, no one can forget that. So yeah, the ultimate death of these alarms was the advancement of fire alarm technology. The introduction of 24 volt DC systems pretty much led to the death of AC systems, and then the 4051, like, people kind of viewed that as antiquated. So yeah, other than that, these horns are really solid and they'll withstand the test of time. These horns are 60 years old, and the only rust on it is right here on the, I guess you could call it the, I don't know, transformer coil or something. Yeah, I don't know really what that's called, but yeah, I think it might be the coil. But yeah, these hardly have any rust on it, just a little bit of overspray from back when they were in service. Someone probably painted around it. But otherwise, yeah, they're really great horns. They make a great display piece. Like, this one is usually up at my apartment with me on display, because I can't really bring any sirens up there. But yeah, that one's on display. They make great display pieces. Maybe even hook it up. All you'd need is really a 6 volt AC transformer, or like 120 to 6 volts AC, or if you have a 12 volt horn, 120 to 12 volts AC transformer. So it wouldn't be really that hard to run these and give people demos. But yeah, when they come up on eBay, they're usually a great steal for the most part, except for the 1-2 bad apples that people try and get an insane amount of money for. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys like Public Safety Sundays, please give me a comment, say, hey, I like it, or if you don't like it, say, hey, we don't want to see any more of this, and then maybe give me a suggestion of what you guys would like to see more of. And if you want to see more from my channel, please consider subscribing and then hitting the bell icon to get notifications, so every time I post a new video, you can get a notification saying, hey, FS Thunderbolt Fan 1000 posted a new video. I try to post new videos at least now 3 times a week, otherwise I try to do 2 times a week. The first video of the week is a vlog usually, the second is usually a siren test, and then now the third will probably be Public Safety Sundays unless you guys aren't too fond of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching and stay safe.